What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we are continuing our look at the Transformers trading card game. I'm profiling most of the character cards. This is a thing that makes me happy. And this is one of my very favourites today, one of my pet projects. It's Autobot Cosmos, a card that I happen to think is pretty gosh darn good. And when you look at Autobot Cosmos, one of the very first things that should jump out to you here, it's got the highest health in the game. By quite a margin. Autobot Cosmos has got a health of 21. And you have to go down a bit to find a Transformer that comes close. It's Nemesis Prime with 16. That's not even that close, to be honest with you. That's pretty sick. Now, the other stats here are not terribly impressive. It is an 11 cost, which does make it more expensive than your average Transformer. And the defense of 1 in both modes is lower than the average of 2. And the attack, which is 1 in alt mode, 2 in bot mode, is significantly lower than the average of 4. So it's got low stats other than the giant health, and it is a fairly expensive card. But it's got crazy good skills that kind of bring me back in. Now, the less exciting one on the face of it, although quite possibly the more practical one most games, when you flip into alt mode, scrap your entire hand and draw that many cards. So if you can get a hand of 5 or 6 cards, you can scrap it, draw 6 more cards. Remember in the Transformers trading card game, when all your cards end up in your scrap pile, you just shuffle your scrap pile and that becomes your deck. So there's no real punishment for decking out here. So this helps you to run through your deck. If you don't have the cards you need, just keep digging through your deck. That's nice. But then we get the skill in bot mode. When you shuffle your deck while this is attacking, KO the defender if it has 12 stars or fewer. Now, the rule on reshuffling your deck is the second you run out of cards in your deck, you reshuffle your scrap pile. So if you need to flip 4 cards while attacking, you flip 3. Oh no, I'm out of deck. You reshuffle your deck and then flip 1. So if you can make sure it runs out while you're attacking, instant KO on any Transformer with 12 stars or fewer. And there's only 2 that have got more. We've got Megatron Living Weapon and Optimus Prime Battlefield Legend. They are 13-star cards. As it stands at the moment in Wave 1, they are the only cards that could get away from this skill. So clearly here, one of the things we need to do to optimize Autobot Cosmos is try and make sure that we will run out of our deck while attacking. And essentially there's 2 ways we do this. Bold, which lets you flip more cards while attacking, and white icons, the first white icon you hit lets you flip 2 extra cards. Only happens once unless something states otherwise. Alright, so that's the way we're going to roll here then. So, in terms of partners, it's a little bit weird. There's no guaranteed best partner here. There's nothing that really jumps off. My personal favourite, my pet project, is this with Nemesis Prime. Now, this is a 2 Transformer deck, and against like a 4 Transformer deck, that does mean they'll get extra attacks off and that will suck, etc. But the thing I really like here, Nemesis Prime, when you reshuffle your scrap pile into your deck, you put the bottom card of your deck face down under it and it gains +3 attack. Well, in alt mode here, Autobot Cosmos is nuts, because you scrap your hand and draw that many cards. Which means you're going to run through your deck much faster, which is going to be great for Nemesis Prime in bot mode. Plus you do cheeky damage when you flip into alt mode, and it's got really high health here. And the combined health here of 37 is higher than a lot of 3 and 4 character teams will have. It's still a high health, even though it's only 2 characters, but your opponent will be getting extra attacks off, so that is something to bear in mind. But if you're not going for my pet project of Nemesis Prime and Cosmos, what do we got? Well, RC is a nice little 5 cost here, and it's got Pierce equal to her attack, which is quite nice, but when you flip into alt mode here, you repair 1 damage from each of your characters. So essentially, you can just try and make sure that you don't take too much damage, then heal. You've got massive health if you're healing as well, that's quite nice. I like Flame War here. Flame War is also a 5 cost, and it gives all of your characters bold 1 when you flip to alt mode. And of course, bold 1 means you flip 1 extra card while attacking, which means 1 more chance to run out of cards while you're attacking, and 1 extra chance to get that KO when you're in bot mode. Yay! So that seems quite nice, and they're both 5-cost cards. One I love here, and I don't know how awkward this would be, but using Insecticon Scrapnel. It's a 7-cost. And it's got a great little skill, whereby when it's in bot mode, it can only take a maximum 3 damage from a single attack. I know, right? So what you do is you use it with the upgrade card Heroism. You put Heroism on Insecticon Scrapnel, and then any damage that would be done to Cosmos is redirected to Scrapnel, and then they can only take a maximum 3 damage, and then you can get on with a bit of the old repairing, and that would work beautifully. The other option I've got here is Optimus Prime Freedom Fighter. Now this is another 12 cost, which means you're again at a 2-card deck, a 2-transformer deck, and I don't think it's as good as Optimus Prime if I'm honest with you. But it's got bold 2, and when you flip to this mode, you get to repair 1 damage from each of your Autobots. That's your alt mode, so it's got a little bit of healing in there. Honestly, I think RC's probably better healing, but it's also just got really good stats overall, and it's a good card, so why not? It's quite cool. I personally like Nemesis Prime, but I do enjoy the Insecticon, Scrapnel, and Heroism combo. There's a little bit of joy to be had there. So what we want to do is maximize bold and white icons. Now in terms of bold, we've basically got 3 options that we can use here. We can use combat training, which is a nice little upgrade card. If you've got a weapon, you've got bold 1. If you've got an armor, it's got tough 1. And then you would really want to give it the weapon flamethrower, which gives it bold 2. So between the 2 of them, you end up with bold 3, which means you're flipping an extra 3 cards when attacking, which is pretty gosh darn nice. Power Sword seems like a good idea because it gives you bold 3. The problem is Power Sword can only be put onto a melee character, and Autobot Cosmos, I mean, it's literally a spaceship, right? It's definitely not a melee character, which is a little bit upsetting, but what can you do about it? The other one here that I absolutely love is the action card Supercharge, which just gives you bold 3. So with that, and combat training and flamethrower, you'd basically be at bold 6. If you use Flame War as well, you'd be at bold 7, and then you'd be flipping over 9 cards when you attacked. You've only got a 40-card deck. So that would give you a decent chance of being able to run out of deck while attacking and then getting that cheeky KO. And it doesn't matter what your attack is if you're getting an instant KO. I don't know if it's going to work every turn, but it seems interesting to me, to be honest with you. In terms of white icons, there are a bunch which we want to use here. And remember, you want to hit a white icon because then you're flipping 2 more cards. So we've got Backup Plan. Scrap your hand, draw 3 cards. Nice for running through your deck nice and quickly. It's also got a white icon. We've got Equipment Enthusiast, lets you draw 1 card for each of your upgrades, and this of course will combo beautifully with your alt mode skill, because if you can draw 3 or 4 cards, get to a hand of say 7, then flip to alt mode, discard and draw a new 7, that is going to get you closer and closer to running out of cards and running through your deck. We've got System Reboot here, which again, it helps you run through your deck. Each player scraps a hand and draws 4 cards. Might also give you a bit of disruption, just purely in terms of, you know, making your opponent get rid of a hand they'd rather have. And then obviously we got Rapid Conversion here. At this stage, Rapid Conversion is probably a free of in every deck you're making, and if it's not, I mean, look, it's got a white icon and it lets you flip a character into its other mode, which is almost always amazing. So honestly, at this stage, if you're making a deck that doesn't have free Rapid Conversion, I would ask you to rethink that. They're the action cards. In terms of upgrade cards here, getting you white icons, we have Combat Training that we've already mentioned. We've got Datapad. Now, I love Datapad because Datapad, as well as having a white icon, when your upgraded character attacks, draw a card, then you may put a card from your hand on top of your deck. Well, if you've got a card of a white icon in your hand, then when you attack, Datapad kicks in, you draw a card, then you get to put a card from your hand on top of your deck, and hopefully at that point you've got a white icon, maybe you just drew one, which guarantees you'll hit a white icon while attacking, and then hopefully you'll run through your deck and it will be lovely. And Force Field, I mean, again, Force Field is a card. When I'm making a deck, I always put free Rapid Conversion in. I always put free Force Field in. Force Field has a white icon, and when it's attached to a character, it guarantees that you can only take 4 damage. You've got 21 health, but you've got low defense. You want to keep yourself alive. So one option you've got for Autobot Cosmos here is whack a Force Field on and heal. And in terms of healing, we've got some options. We've got Emergency Maintenance here. It's an action card that lets you heal 1 from one of your characters, but if you've got more stars in your KO area than the battlefield, you get to do 3 instead. Or maybe just Medic that repairs 2 from one of your characters, or maybe Repair Bay that heals 1 from each of your characters. We also have Salvage for parts that I'm less of a fan of. Scrap all of your upgrades and repair 1 damage from each character for each upgrade scrapped from it. But it doesn't have an icon, and I'm not a huge fan of this card, though it does remain an option for healing. I don't know how much I'm loving Autobot Cosmos as a build a deck around it, try and get bold going and KO characters using the skill, because I don't know how reliable it is. But as a character with a huge health that you can use either Scrapnel Heroism or Force Field, plus healing to keep alive all game, I like it. To give you a bit of extra consistency and draw power in the ult mode, I like it. And to use as a partner for Nemesis Prime to run through your deck faster, I like it. Of course, I like the bot mode skill. Of course, I'm going to be making a whole bunch of decks to try and make sure that I can get cheeky KOs using the skill by making sure my deck runs out while I'm attacking. That seems like it's not going to work as consistently as you need it to, but I think this is a character that's got so much going for it, you don't just have to rely on this one skill that could turn out to be a gimmick. Although it could turn out to be game-breaking, we don't know. We don't have a metagame yet. But as with all of these, ladies and gentlemen, let me know. Let me know in the comment section what you think about it. Go nuts, but please remember the rule. Be nice. Otherwise, make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wossy. That's where I ramble. And of course, by far the most important thing, look after yourselves till next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wossy Plays.